This is a Technics SL-1210. This is the Mark II version. These have been out for years and years and years, and it's the Rolls Royce for every DJ using vinyl. Now this one's come along with an earth problem, and I can't really hear any earth problem with this, apart from if you obviously remove the ground lead, it buzzes like hell. And I was all ready to stick the lid back on it and sort of send it back and say, look, there's no problem with it. When I suddenly realised there are a few problems. Now this is the line out, and a slight twist or turn on that, and it's, well, as you can hear, it's a bit faulty. When I actually play a record, and I'm cleared to play this YouTube, my copyright, I'm part of it, so that's fine. I kind of noticed when I was just sort of listening to it, you can hear that it's
musical technician, hit you with position, pop a lyrical decision, your indecision will cost you your position. Best of night vision, right start do your revision, collision course if you resort to food.
So there is a problem. Now to get into one of these Technics is a bit technical, so I'm going to have to flip it over, take it apart, and this whole unit should come out here, and that's got your leads and things. They're sort of connected directly underneath into here, into the arm and off to the head. So we're going to have to flip it over and start taking this thing apart. Now they're a bit expensive, these are, and this is somebody's pride and joy, so we're going to flip it over and be as gentle with it as possible. Those of you who know, these are direct drive, i.e. there's no belts or anything with these, and this platter should come up, and it's just no belts or anything. The way it works is here is a permanent magnet, and here is a set of coils, and the coils are energized one after the other, or a few at a time, and you know, it's energized to make this run at the correct speed, which is really nice. That's direct drive. So we're gonna start dismantling this thing. Now in this section here, the outer coils energizes the ring magnet, which turns the platter, and on the inside there's 3 smaller sensors, and they sense a piece inside the platter that tells it exactly that it's keeping up with the speed that it's attempting to turn at. This is all going to need a little bit of a clean out before I even start unscrewing it. There's 5 screws to take this panel off, and you'll find all the circuit boards underneath here, but there's bits of I don't know, ash and all sorts of things in there. If I lift this up and start turning it around, all that's going to drop inside it, so it's going to be a case of a bit of cleaning up with a nice soft brush and a hoover. So if you bear with me a little bit, I'm going to start cleaning. Now we've got 5 screws to take this off, but do I need to take that off? I don't know. What I really need to do is flip it over and just get this section off, because I think the problem's just underneath here. So we've got to take this arm physically out. It's a bit of a pain, but it can be done. So what I'm going to do is get a little bit of yeah, 2 of them will do. Okay, now I'm going to use 2 of these things and try and make it so that this arm isn't touching the table. I'll sort of levitate it onto this bit here. So bear with me. Let's see what we can do. Right, I'm thinking the problem is up here with these cables running in down there. You know, either the cable has got a break physically inside it, but I'll test that with a meter and sending a signal through in a moment, or there's something wrong with the connection as it's going in here. So let's get on with that. Every time I take the screws out of something like this that's got loads of screws, I always make a type of constellation of where all the screws are. So physically every screw goes back into exactly the same hole that it came out of. Now I've taken off all these screws, and this piece is actually a very thick rubber. So now we're going to peel this up. This is quite heavy. Just check up by taking it all out. Yes. Right, here we go. Right, if we lift that and put that away over there, just pull the leads through a little bit. Yeah, it's actually a bendy rubber. So that can sit there for the moment. And the bit that we want is here. We want to drop this out, or just lift this plate. There's two screws there. Actually, I'll undo that and disconnect this cable catch and see what's happening under there. Right, okay, that's the next bit. This is quite a fragile plastic. This is a bit of a plastic sleeve, and you've got to be a bit careful with this because you can easily crack it and break it. But let's get this piece open. Now I've wedged this up to the correct height, so there's nothing touching the arm at all. There's a little bit of rubber, pencil eraser rubber here, because I don't want to scratch this in any way. I mean, it's already a bit scratched and used, but you know, as long as I don't add to it, that's fine. It looks like he's got little, you know, he's had spiders nesting in here as well. So I'll give it all the typical clean when I've finished. Alright, let's open this up then. See what's going off under here. I mean, basically all the electronics in this deck is all for, you know, operating the turntable and the speed controls and things like that. And your phono outputs, there's, you know, not really any significant circuitry. This is just running through a little bit of circuit and up to the stylus. So let's try and get this apart. Now that's releasing the cable catch. So put everything in my little map over here. Put it there. And these are the two screws that belong to that. So that goes with those. Now let's remove this plate here. Those two screws with that for the moment. So if you have a look inside here, all the solder joints are, I mean, they look pretty good to me. So I'm wondering actually if there's some form of a break actually inside the cable. There's the ground lead connected here and there. Actually looks okay, but it was wiggling this cable that made all the problem. Switch it back on, not the record deck, just this. Yeah, you see we've still got the problem. It seems that the problem is physically inside the lead. Okay, I'm going to change this cable. Right. This definitely confirms that the fault is in the cable. That's nice. That's not. So yes, we're going to unsolder this and get that out and put a new one on, because that's had it. I mean, we don't know where the break is in there, but there's definitely the problem is in that. So we're going to unsolder these, take this cable out and fit a new one, something nice with a few gold contacts and things. Okay. All clear. Right, this is the new cable, and I've pre-soldered the leads ready. Let's chop them down to size. So it's red to the left pin and white to the right pin. So we solder these in first. Nice connection there. Now this is where I need my little tweezers to hold this spot on, because you don't want them to touch, but you want them to make a good contact. Yeah. And then this is the shield. Yeah. Give it a little pull, make sure it isn't going to come off. No, I can't get this one. Right. Down you go. Right, that's pretty solid. Now, let's plug the new leads in to the phono box preamp, switch on, and see what happens now. We've still got an earth problem, but that's because this earth lead is up here. So, hang on a minute. I was trying to leap. Now, that's not a very good connection just onto the board there. What I need is one of those little tooth washers. So when I put the screw in, this is going to bite down onto the neutral. So I'm just going to have a look for one of them little tooth washers there. And add that. Now this bit here is a ground, and that's got a contact here, and then that goes up the black wire up to the head. So I'm going to put one of these little tooth washers in there. So when I screw this down, it makes a good bite. A better connection, and of course because this is magnetic it keeps pulling the bloody thing away. Right, okay, get in there. There you go, got ya. Right, okay, so we've put the new wire on, and I've added a toothed washer underneath the earth wire here so that it bites better onto the circuit board. And it seems, touch wood, that it might have actually solved the problem. The only thing I have noticed is I've got this wire should be going around the back of that, so I've got to unscrew it and put the wire around the back of that now. So get it in the right space, put a cable tie down, and then we'll plop it back together, stick a record on there and see if we've made any difference, hopefully. Chop that off. We'll put this base plate back on. Okay, I managed to get this new cable through here. It was a bit of a pig, but look. Ooh. No buzz, no click. Right, let's get this baby back together again then. Thanks to my little map, I know exactly where I'm going with everything. Okay, this is the boring bit, so I'll come back to you in a moment. Put some nice gold plated plugs on the end there, with a nice new lead. doesn't sound bad. Okay. Let's put the platter back on and see what it sounds like. Right, I'm just testing the lead on this, and the way I'm doing it is I'm just sending a 5 volt sine wave at 5 kilohertz, whatever, down and into the oscilloscope, and as you can see it's up on the screen here and it's in roll. So if I, as you can see on the screen here, if I tilt this in the right direction, the connection's lost, it's back, it's lost, it's back, and this is all, this has been the problem. But I don't know exactly where it is. It feels as if it's around here. But yeah, there you go. Completely lost now. Whatever the wire is, wherever the wire break is, it's completely gone now, the signal. So if I twist it, the signal comes back. So yeah, simply the cable. And that confirms it. My friend's record. Here we go.
Yo, Mk2 musical technician, hit you with position, how about lyrical decision, your indecision will cost you your position. Best of night vision, run start, do your revision, collision force, if you resort to full bore, check the report, give me access like passport, you get what you ask for, don't believe this has to last for, if you close the door, reckon that with the metaphor, like an if, order rounds line after line, my time to shine.
That's from MickeyB, Runner Rhythm Studios. I'll put a link into his music actually. But yeah, that's quiet. There's no mains hum. Beautiful. Everything works alright on it. It's had a little bit of a clean and it all seems fine. So, it's another fix. Simple, but... Thank you for watching. I forgot to say screwdriver time.
No for the juice in the wrong thing. The song I sing for my people. We move like donkey. We're back to scheming. Meaning for what you believe in. To stop my flow is to stop my breathing. Shadow without the D-man. Call me He-Man. With the bag of battle crack. Change the Liverpool combat. Ready to board and track. Show circulate that. And this track is on CD cause it's too hot for the wax. And if I like the beat I play that. Lyrical box is great. That make you say, yo, that's the you that rock. The Roxy way back. Stay black and stay real. And yo, here's the deal. I'd rather have a coat meal than a shirt with an Italian silk. Don't get it twisted. Yo, I got the money I purchase. Every move I make, I make it with purpose within the circle. Keep my third eye open, and if you are far, better watch out for the choke. This will make you